Before I owned the precision cooker, I used to cook about 2 or 3 times a week, but it was the same dishes every time. I had my go-tos. I had my lamb chop, my pork chop, and my chicken, and I would cook them over and over again, once a day, 3 times a week. Then I would order Chinese food, then I would order a pizza, and then we would have leftovers, and it got pretty boring. I didn't know I could cook. I thought cooking was some mystical skill that only certain people had, like either you knew how to cook or you didn't. You know, we always think, oh, he's a good cook, or she's a good cook, or they're a professional cook. The precision cooker has made it so that's accessible to everybody. It's about as easy as throwing leftover pizza in the microwave. Now that I cook at home, I think I can cook a better steak at home than I can at a restaurant. So the hard thing for me now is when I go out to eat, I try to find things that I can't cook or that I don't cook anymore, because the steak I can cook at home with a precision cooker is 100 times better than any steak that I could get even in a steakhouse. In reading The Food Lab by Kenji, I really started to understand that cooking is science. Why does meat do what it does, and why do vegetables do what they do, and what is it to taste good? It's science. So in the past, like I said, when people would say, what temperature do you want your steak cooked? I thought that medium rare was just a description. I didn't know that it actually meant 125 to 135. And now that I have control over that, and I can set it, and I can nail it every single time, I mean, it really empowers you in the kitchen, because there's no overcooked and undercooked. It's all perfectly cooked. And with the precision cooker, you are literally cooking to a degree. So if you like it medium rare and you want your steak to have that beautiful pinkness throughout the entire steak with a nice crust on the edges, then maybe 125 is for you. If you want it slightly more cooked, maybe it's 127. And so what I understood with the precision cooker is that they actually mean what temperature. And how can you say that about any other cooking method? It's always perfect. It's exactly the way you want it to be. So the first dish that I ever cooked with the precision cooker was something that I never would have tackled beforehand. I actually made duck breast. And I would have never considered cooking duck, but I saw an article on Serious Eats on the Food Lab on how to cook it with the precision cooker. And so I tried it. And it's a duck breast with fried shallots and Szechuan peppercorns. And the duck breast was cooked in the precision cooker, and then I seared the duck breast in a cast iron skillet, fried the shallots, Szechuan peppercorns, and it was amazing. It was probably one of the best dishes I've ever had, much less one of the best dishes that I've ever cooked. My 10-year-old son couldn't get enough of it. My wife was asking when I was gonna cook it again, and it was just spectacular. I mean, it just opened up, I get goosebumps when I think about it, because it opened up a whole window of, I can cook things that I never thought I could cook before. I can cook them well. I can cook them at restaurant quality, and maybe even better than restaurant quality. And it's exciting. That's the absolute best way to cook protein. It's the easiest way to cook vegetables, and it's the best way to cook eggs, because I never was able to poach an egg perfectly before. Most proteins have about a 3-hour window, so you can put it in anywhere from an hour to 4 hours, and the quality of the protein at the end is going to be the same, because it holds it at that absolute perfect temperature for up to 3 hours. When I'm getting dinner ready for my family, or I have guests come over, I can prep everything beforehand, and I set the precision cooker up. I throw the meat in anywhere from an hour to 4 hours before, and it's done. I know that all I'm gonna have to do at the end is minimally sear it if it's something that I want a nice crust on. So then we go back to getting the house ready, or I go back and I pick up my kids, or I go back to work upstairs, and literally 1 minute before I want dinner on the table, I'll take the protein out of the bags, I'll throw it on the cast iron skillet, sear it, and it's done. And that's true whether I'm feeding my family of 4 or if I'm having 10 guests over. It's done when you want it to be done. I feel great when I'm able to share what I've been able to do with the precision cooker with my friends. It gives me more confidence. So it gives me more confidence in the kitchen. It makes me feel happy to be able to cook good things for my family, especially when my wife was pregnant and I took on the lion's share of the cooking. And actually I've continued to since then, because I like it so much. So it's kind of like another way of providing for my family. You don't just bring home the bacon. Well, now I get to cook it. I think the precision cooker has absolutely changed the way I cook, the way I perceive cooking, what I do in the kitchen. It's something that got me into the kitchen, got me excited about the kitchen, made me buy more tools so that I could cook more things. And literally it changed my life or my family because we get to enjoy meals more. It's changed how we eat and what we eat. We eat healthier, we eat way better. My friends can't wait to come over because they know that what I'm gonna cook is gonna come out perfect. And it really has changed our life.